Wait, guys, do you mean he's not going to be here?
Does that mean he's not coming on then?
Yeah, Sousa will find out.
would be a good
Okay,
time.
new idea.
He's with his GF again.
Once he comes
We
home.
have Gorl.
We have a
Oh, God.
couple of special guests today to replace Sousa. First, we have some chick that we found on the street. We paid her 50 cents to be on. Say hello, Mafia Boss.
What? Oh, no, dude, no. That's not okay. Dude, I am the Mafia. I am...
What? So should he have paid 69 cents instead for the joke?
69.
I
mean, we don't respect women?
Oh my god, but we respect women. It's like the brand. It's part of the brand.
Respect the woman?
Oh, and we forgot to announce our next special guest.
Sousa.
Oh,
Wait,
what?
what?
Oh, Weezer.
Wait, Carl Weezer.
Oh, fuck. I forgot. Sousa hates us.
Yes, everyone's favorite creeper over Jimmy's mom.
Oh, man.
He will be here at exactly
whenever he shows up.
Exactly 6 minutes.
Wizard arrives precisely when he means to.
Exactly, he's a
We'll
wizard.
hit the 10-minute mark and we get paid.
Right.
All
right.
There we go.
Didn't we have more of a straightforward topic to kind of keep us in the middle?
Yeah,
Sandwich it.
like the pilot episode, which is probably the better one, but you know.
You know what?
also-
Fuck that.
Nah.
We'll do it live.
Okay, we got O'Reilly here. We can't fail now.
Especially considering the fact
have
that
the
only Dead
spirit.
Gang is subscribing, and we are Dead Gang.
You have the ghost of late night television with us.
What best type of people to talk about horror cliches than people that are already dead?
And this is why...
Hey,
Bro, segue.
Bro, when I got out of my grave, I
I'm just gonna...
Yeah,
I saw egg.
reminds me of my time with Bones Malone and the Spooky Crew.
The most annoying horror cliche is when they fall over nothing when running away.
Oh yeah,
It's like
or generally people doing stupid decisions to carry the plot.
Yeah.
honestly,
yeah, like Goku and Naruto having a rap battle.
I mean, yeah, but that's a different type of stupid.
should definitely, kidnap someone, put them in our basement, and then make them listen to our...
I knew she was a prostitute.
okay, let's just go over something.
We can make the kids
G.O.R.L
like...
is Oyandere confirmed.
Okay, yes.
Yandere.
I like
the
that.
the power of Weezer.
Anyways,
Magnet.
what's
Yes.
the deal with jump scares?
I know.
Scary.
It's not. It doesn't even scare you. It's just startling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but
Okay,
people
here's
act
what's
like,
wrong
oh,
with
Is it bad that I find jump scares more funny than scary?
no,
Honestly.
not really, not at all.
Dude.
Because they really
Already
can.
a Dead Gang.
Okay, guys, since we're gonna get more views off of this, what do you guys think about the new Five Nights at Freddy's game that's gonna come out?
I
What?
think
They're making
I really
another
think
one?
that-
Wait, what?
Yes,
Scott
I
Cawthon,
believe
Cawthon,
yes.
man.
probably
Scott
never
Cawthon
did.
will never stop. Okay, this is
Cawthon's
Scott
making
Cawthon's
that
wild
money.
ride.
Yeah,
So
someone
I just wanted-
someone insults his cute game once, and now he makes horror games.
Yeah,
for the rest
now
of his
he
life.
takes a bazillion games as a response.
Okay, here's the thing. You know
My
what
ultimate
I-
revenge.
You know what I love about this?
Probably a lot.
You should just have Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay over one of the videos.
Oh god.
Oh God.
Or just
There's
even
not
the
any
song. They're what's the
But it'd be
noise that
funnier if it was a
goes
random other game, because then it makes no sense.
You know what I absolutely love? I love
Mhm.
games that, like, when you start playing them, it's like, oh, it's this other game. And then, like, you wait a while, and it's
Yeah,
just like,
you
boom,
wait a
horror.
while and then Shiori hangs herself, and then oh my god, you're not in a dating
Yes.
simulator anymore.
DDLC is a perfectly safe, family-friendly game.
Yes,
I
yes,
swear.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense.
Until a thing happens that I've already spoiled, because I want to talk about cliches in the game and horror.
You're trying to
because,
smash,
that's
but
what
then
we're
she
supposed
hangs
to be
herself.
doing.
When you're trying to smash and then she hangs herself.
Big oof.
all
When you
because
say,
this
hey,
random
girl, want to hang? But she takes it literally.
yeah, I mean, what do you have that you? What? I mean, you're really not starved for choices, huh? You've got maximum sadist. You've got depression, the child. You've got abused a small person, and then you have
Natsuki's
Monica.
best girl, just saying.
I mean, but
We also have a Jimmy's mom.
Wait, no. Oh, God. Don't.
No. Oof.
We're gonna second
You've summoned the demon. You summoned the demon, Juman. God damn it.
Where's Jimmy's mom? Where's my
Uh,
croissant?
Carl Weezer, okay, you're not supposed to be on yet.
To the
Right, we're only
left,
using you for
go to the
views.
street by the cafeteria, the
What?
one with the red top. Ignore that one and go to the next one.
Okay.
That's it.
Do you know where Jimmy's mom is, though?
Yeah, that's where she should. That's where she should be at this hour.
All right.
BuzzFeed, no.
You're gonna finish that
Don't do that, don't
croissant?
do that.
Now we'll have a cursed video as well. We're
Oh,
completing
God.
all the internet horrors.
Carl Weezer.
Dude, we will.
Or Weezer.exe.
He came over me.
Right.
the ultimate,
By anyone.
the
No one
ultimate in creepypastas.
will. We are
The ultimate creepypasta.
the
Yep.
YouTube channel ever. And I
It's funny we were.
Yeah, boss, you better be making us views, or else you're never coming back on again.
Excuse me. I will edit the
Everything
videos
is in
so
the service
cleanly.
of views and profit here.
We're only here for the views and the money, alright? We're
They
not
don't
here
pay
to
me
actually
help.
enjoy being around with each other, okay?
No, sure,
I'm
we'll pay
health
you
hosted.
what-
My address is.
You
Don't
expect
actually
You guys are getting paid?
let's say like a content. This is cursed. This is
Yeah,
cursed
that's
content.
the point. That's the
Yes, and you
start.
will-
Real
How do you
quick,
think
Mafia
we wrote
boss?
Squid on board.
Say
You
something
know
I
what
can
people
put at the
want.
very
That's why
beginning of the
we're
video.
good.
I am Mafia, and I am Asia. We should Photoshop our faces
Wow.
into that.
Just split it up into different episodes if you don't want.
Anyways,
I like how Aaron talks for the first time in the whole episode.
No, he has talked before, but still.
Yeah.
next guest, next episode will be Sousa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll officially get him on.
And
next
that's the
time, don't worry.
promise.
Yo, we should like end this in the middle of a sentence because we would never end a video.
Guys, did you forget that I have to do my weird gag thing?
Yeah, do that, and I'll say my outline. Oh,
That's what the
wait,
second
before-
video is about. Maybe try to organize and not get massively sidetracked from the alleged topic this
Before-
time.
No, don't worry.
No, before.
We're never going to have a
Just
topic
forget
when
we're
doing these videos.
recording.
We're just going to say random things.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah,
fair
we're
enough, but
recording.
it's just the
Oh, we continue
illusion
this.
of organization.
Hear a word from our sponsor.
organization.
So as the next episode started.
Anyway, what VPN?
No, what are we doing?
Not
We're still recording.
nothing.
We're doing just to suffer.
What?
What are we
Of
doing
course
with
we're
our
still
lives? I
recording.
don't know.
Recording
Something
everything.
productive we could.
Never end anything.
Recording
You've
you
been
all.
recording everything this whole time?
Literally just Nixon with
I
extra
was just
steps.
about to play my Bratz
top
game.
10 anime plot twists right there.
I was just about
Basie,
to play my
Nixon
Bratz
confirmed.
game.
Just
Yeah,
gonna
okay.
find
Just about to
I'm
play
gonna say this
Google
right
game.
now, though. I'm gonna say this right now, and this is
Mhm.
probably gonna embarrass me in front of the whole world. One time, McDonald's had this app, right? You guys know this McDonald's app. They had it, and
Yeah.
and they had a Barbie game on it. I actually had fun playing it. It wasn't even like a game where you drove around and stuff. It was a dress-up game. And I
Okay.
had so much fun playing it, and I don't know why.
I don't know if
You
we
feel
can
like
be
you're having an existential crisis for something completely minimal, but okay.
Oh my god, I played a dress-up game.
Oh
Fuck.
Oh my god!
And we all know that all of us were so horny one time that we played a dress-up game to see if we could take off
like
everything.
kidnap kids and then make them
Okay,
live in
it's
our
confirmed. The video for the next.
And it's also,
video for the
guys,
next
I want
episode
to
is
tell
just
you
gonna
how I
be-
brought Mafia Boss on the reality. So I saw one of those ads that said 25 hot chicks within 25 miles of your area, and I signed up. And I found Mafia Boss. You're like the fifth person to text me like, hey.
Amazing.
Wow, amazing.
You just admitted that I'm hot.
No,
You fool!
Adam.
You've
No
complimented
way, you
her
don't think.
instead.
You've complimented the woman, you fucking simp.
I'm not hot in
dang
real
it.
life.
Simp,
Fell right into
simp,
my trap.
simp
don't worry.
detected,
I'm still
simp
going to get
detected.
Pokemon on the podcast. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, it'll happen.
This is
I'm
gonna
just
be
waiting
day
for
two.
Mudahar
This
to
is
show
day
up,
two.
okay?
This is day
We
two.
need the chubby Indian man to show support.
Next special guest, Mudahar.
At Pokemon.
Mr. Some
So
ordinary
next
name
time
is.
we will be confessing
Oh,
our love.
speaking
to
of which,
Sousa.
Jimin, how's the pinging Pokemon going?
Doing it
You know,
right now. You won't
Oh, he's
join
doing
us.
it.
Wow, we're seeing it live.
Dude,
Do it live! He's
Live.
literally
I'm doing
pinging
it live.
Pokemon every day until we get her on the show.
Yep.
You want me to
It's
straight up
either
win
gonna
it?
work or he's gonna block him. Why
not
one of the
both?
two? It'll be funny.
Both.
Oh shit. Okay, bro.
Oh god,
Next
what are we?
time we
what
will
are we
be
doing?
confessing our love to Sousa.
He's streaming.
You know that? And ich liebe Nazi.
No, God
Why
damn
am I
it! Now we
still
can't show this in
recording all of
Germany.
this?
We should like
Got banned from Germany. God
sorry,
damn
but
it.
we should definitely have like that as an outro.
No.
Shut up. Okay,
No.
next time we'll be
I'm
confessing our
trying
love
to restore the Kaiser, goddammit. I can't do it if I'm barred from the country.